I'm having more fun during this time of my life than I've ever had before. I've legitimately never been happier.
You found out what Taylor Swift thinks of your mustache?
Yeah, we're not going to bring up Taylor Swift.
How does it feel to officially be the guy on the Chiefs?
You mean Karma?
Karma, that's right.
Yeah, no, I had no clue that, I might have had a little bit of a clue, but definitely when I heard it come out of her mouth, still shocked me. And
yeah, you could tell in the video.
I was like,
it was pretty.
Oh, shh.
Picture this. The stadium lights are blinding. The air is electric. And somewhere in the middle of it all, Taylor Swift, yes. The Taylor Swift is casually watching a Chiefs game, her presence setting the internet ablaze in seconds. Now imagine Travis Kelce, fresh off a big win, pulling up in a convertible like he's in a scene straight out of a romantic comedy. Cameras flash, fans scream, and for one surreal moment, the world collectively pauses to say, wait, are they together? But here's the thing, they weren't just together. This wasn't an accidental crossing of paths, a sweet coincidence that turned into tabloid gold. No, this was the culmination of Travis Kelce's bold, borderline cinematic plan to catch Taylor Swift's attention. Because when you're one of the best tight ends in the NFL, you don't just watch the most famous pop star on earth from the nosebleeds. You shoot your shot, friendship bracelet and all. Yes, you heard that right. Travis showed up to Taylor's concert armed with a handmade bracelet, his phone number carefully woven into its beads, like something out of a teenage rom-com, only with NFL-level confidence. When she didn't notice him that night, he actually admitted his disappointment. This wasn't just a crush. This was an all-in play for the heart of a superstar. And let's be honest, who wouldn't melt just a little over that level of effort? Still, even the boldest moves need a little help. Enter Erin Andrews, sports commentator turned fairy godmother, who decided to put in a good word for Travis. And in one of those rare twists where celebrity matchmaking actually works, Taylor listened. She gave him a chance, a real one. Suddenly, whispers started swirling about quiet visits and secret meets, the kind of late-night city rendezvous that fuel gossip columns and Reddit threads alike. It wasn't long before the NFL world was buzzing louder than a stadium crowd. In overtime, and then came the moment that cemented it all. Taylor, hand in hand with Travis, stepping out in New York like they owned the city. They weren't just spotted grabbing dinner at Nobu, they were making a statement. This was a thing, and if there was any doubt, the pair squashed it with an unforgettable Saturday Night Live weekend. Ice Spice brought the music, Taylor brought the star power, and Travis, he slipped into the spotlight with perfect comedic timing, turning the night into a cultural event. Rumor has it, he wasn't even supposed to be part of the show's lineup. But let's be real, when Taylor Swift is in the building, the rules change, from a bold bracelet stunt to breaking the internet. This wasn't just a love story, it was a cultural phenomenon in real time. Two worlds collided, stadiums and sold-out arenas, touchdowns and Grammys, and somehow it all started with one guy's gutsy decision to shoot his shot. Because let's be honest, when Travis Kelce rolled that dice, he wasn't just playing a game, he was rewriting the playbook for modern romance, and now, well, the world can't stop watching. Every game feels like a date night. Every song lyric gets dissected for hidden meaning, and their every move sends headlines spinning. Started as the worst first date ever, has turned into one of the most fascinating celebrity love stories of the decade. A reminder, maybe, that sometimes the boldest plays pay off in ways you never expect. Want me to carry this energy through the rest of your script, so it flows like one seamless cinematic story? And just like that, everything shifted. Picture this, Travis Kelce, barely catching his breath from his whirlwind arrival with Taylor, slipping into Saturday Night Live like he owns the place. He wasn't even supposed to be there, but in that moment, standing beside Taylor as cameras rolled live, it didn't matter. Their presence together was enough to turn a regular SNL night into a cultural spectacle. Suddenly, this wasn't just a rumor or a fling, it was a statement. And from that night on, there was no hiding. That's what makes this story so captivating. Taylor and Travis aren't sneaking around or dodging cameras. They're stepping out into the spotlight with a confidence that feels refreshing, almost defiant. The two of them walking through New York hand in hand, smiling like the rest of the world doesn't even exist. have this energy like they're daring us not to root for them. And honestly, who wouldn't? In a world that feels like it's constantly on edge, this love story feels like a warm escape. A little fairy tale playing out right in front of us. But it's almost too perfect, isn't it? The timing, the headlines, the way everything seems to fall into place as if fate itself wrote the script. Let's be real, Travis wasn't exactly America's golden boy a few months ago. He'd taken some PR hits, a Pfizer ad that sparked controversy, a Bud Light commercial that stirred up its own drama. For a moment, it felt like the shine on his image was fading. And then suddenly, he's romantically linked to one of the most powerful and beloved artists on the planet. Coincidence? Maybe. But something about it feels like destiny stepping in at just the right time. Meanwhile, Taylor was coming out of a whirlwind of her own. We'd all watched her high-profile British romance dominate headlines, then quietly fade away. She was in a different chapter, one that felt heavy and distant. And then she came back home. Back to the US, back to stadium lights and roaring crowds, back to her roots and straight into the orbit of Travis Kelce. That's what makes this whole thing feel bigger than a celebrity love story. It's not just two famous people finding each other. It's the collision of two entire worlds, music and football, glitter and grit, stadiums and sold-out arenas. And the craziest part, they look like they're actually having fun with it. The hand-holding, the playful teasing, the way they're leaning into the chaos instead of hiding from it feels real. It feels alive. And maybe that's why the world can't stop watching. Because in a time when every love story feels manufactured, this one feels like lightning striking twice. Like the universe decided these two needed each other at exactly this moment. And maybe that's why we're all so invested. We're not just watching Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce fall in love. We're watching something rare. To people who could have kept it private, deciding instead to let us all in. And maybe that's the part people can't quite wrap their heads around, the speed of it all. There wasn't this slow burn courtship. No, let's just grab coffee and see where it goes. Nope, they skipped straight to holding hands in public. Sneaky kisses caught by paparazzi and full-blown date nights like they'd been together for years. It's almost cinematic. Like the scene in a rom-com where the montage skips the awkward getting-to-know-you phase and jumps right into the fireworks. But with that speed comes suspicion. Some people are convinced this is less about romance and more about strategy. Candace Owens certainly thinks so, calling it a well-planned publicity stunt. And plenty of Taylor's critics have echoed that sentiment. Even some of her fans, people who adore her, admit that Taylor has a knack for commanding attention, whether she needs to or not. And if we play along with the theory for a second, it's a fair question. Why would they need to? These aren't two struggling artists trying to get noticed. This is Taylor Swift, a cultural juggernaut who could sell out stadiums without saying a word. And Travis Kelce, a Super Bowl champion with his own fan base and brand. Still, the skeptics keep pointing to the numbers, and numbers don't lie. In the days after Taylor was first spotted at that Chiefs game, Travis Kelce's jersey sales skyrocketed by 400%. The NFL practically turned their romance into a storyline, plastering their faces everywhere. Merch was flying, clips of their moments together were dominating feeds. And suddenly, this wasn't just a romance, it was a cultural event. For some people, that's proof enough that there's a business plan behind every public smile and handhold. But here's the thing, maybe that's overthinking it. Maybe not every love story needs to be dissected like a PR playbook. Taylor doesn't need a romance to boost her career. She's already one of the most powerful women in entertainment. Travis doesn't need a fake relationship to prove his worth. His stats speak for themselves. And Taylor, if history has shown us anything, is a fiercely independent woman who does things on her own terms. She's built an empire, shattered records, and rewritten what it means to be a pop star in control of her own narrative. If she's decided to let someone into her world, who are we to assume it's all for optics? Because here's the truth, you can't fake chemistry like that. Whether it's them laughing courtside, whispering to each other between plays, or just the way they look at one another in photos, it feels real. That comfort, that playfulness, that spark, it doesn't come from marketing meetings. And maybe that's why this story has gripped so many people. Whether you're a hardcore Swiftie or a football fanatic, their romance feels like a crossover event no one saw coming, but everyone is invested in. And isn't that what love stories are supposed to do? Shake things up, make us feel something, give us a little escape from the chaos of the world, even if just for a moment. Because watching Taylor Swift, the pop queen who's written love songs for a generation, and Travis Kelce, the NFL star, who plays like he was born to win, fall for each other in real time. That's not just gossip, that's a cultural moment. And maybe, just maybe, it's the kind of magic we've all been craving. Imagine this, the stadium lights are blinding, the crowd is roaring. And in the middle of all the chaos, Taylor Swift, arguably the most famous woman on the planet, sits calmly, a grin on her face, as she watches Travis Kelce dominate the field. Minutes later, he's driving her through Kansas City in a sleek convertible like it's a scene ripped straight from a movie. This wasn't just a headline moment, it was the beginning of something bigger, something that would have the internet spiraling and the world choosing sides. Is this the greatest love story of our time, or the smartest PR move in modern celebrity history? Because here's the twist, this wasn't an accident. Travis Kelce wasn't just another fanboy hoping to catch Taylor's eye from afar. No, he had a plan. At her concert, he came armed with a friendship bracelet, his phone number woven right into it, ready to shoot his shot like a man who knew exactly what he wanted. When he didn't get the chance to meet her, he admitted it publicly, turning disappointment into determination. And that's when fate, or maybe just good timing, stepped in. With a little nudge from sports commentator Aaron Andrews, Taylor gave him a chance. And suddenly, whispers of secret visits and private meets turned into full-blown rumors. Rumors that exploded when Taylor showed up at that Chiefs game, her appearance stealing every headline. From there, it was like watching a love story unfold. In real time, 4 weeks later, the two of them were walking hand in hand through New York. Not hiding, not sneaking, but owning the moment. They weren't just grabbing dinner at Nobu, they were making a statement. Their SNL weekend sealed it. Taylor introducing Ice Spice's electric performance while Travis slipped into the spotlight with perfect comedic timing. Fun fact, he wasn't even supposed to be on the show. It was a last-minute decision, a whirlwind entrance that had the energy of a Hollywood rom-com climax. And people noticed, not just the fans, but the NFL. Suddenly, their relationship wasn't just gossip, it was a storyline. Jersey sales for Travis skyrocketed 400% overnight. The cameras lingered on Taylor in the stadium. The commentators mentioned her name every other play, and every photo of them together became its own viral moment. That's when the speculation began. Was this love, or was it brilliant marketing? Some critics, like Candace Owens, insist it's all part of a carefully planned PR strategy. Even some Taylor fans admit she knows how to command attention better than anyone else. After all, both Taylor and Travis were already wildly famous, so why the need for more? But maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe the real magic here is that they don't seem to care what anyone thinks. Taylor's been through highly scrutinized relationships before, and she's not exactly shy about protecting her heart. If this was fake, wouldn't they be hiding? Instead, they're out in the open, smiling, kissing, living their lives like a couple who doesn't owe the world an explanation. And that's where this story becomes fascinating. Because while some see an elaborate stunt, others see something rare. Two people from completely different worlds finding each other at just the right time. Taylor, fresh out of a whirlwind international romance back home in the US with a clean slate. Travis, the charismatic NFL star, with the kind of charm and confidence that could actually match hers. Together, they're this perfect collision of music and sports, stadiums and arenas, touchdowns and Grammys. They've skipped the slow burn and gone straight to PDA-filled weekends and tabloid covers. And honestly, that might just be the thing that makes this so captivating. You can feel their chemistry in the way they look at each other, the way they laugh, the way Taylor seems genuinely at ease around him. That's not something you can script. Swifties are loving it too. Travis has literally the best personality in the league, one fan gushed. He's also the absolute best at his position, which is only all Taylor deserves. Another wrote, there really is something so special about this relationship. I didn't know what it was, but it's becoming clearer now. And maybe that's the truth. This isn't just a celebrity fling. This is a cultural event, a crossover moment no one saw coming, but everyone's obsessed with. So, What do you think? Are we witnessing a genuine love story, or is this just Hollywood level marketing brilliance playing out in real time? And how long will this fairy tale last? One thing's for sure, this love story, whether real or not, has us all hooked. If you're loving this deep dive into the wild world of celebrity romance, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and tap the bell so you don't miss a moment of the drama. And if you want to keep the tea flowing, don't miss our next video, how Selena Gomez is communicating with Justin Bieber in Paris. You're not going to want to skip that one.